Reality check, man, from a year device, and you know it's a unique one, aromatic realistic TV. And today, people, I want to address Babsy Grange. Yeah, man, I want to address Babsy Grange today. Because I don't know if the rest of Jamaican really understand what take place, and what going around here, say, is that this woman, is using my ancestors, who blood, sweat, and tears shed for Jamaica, for people like me, and the people on my platform, have a voice, and have a Jamaica, for call home, And my ancestors do that, And to see Babsy Grange, they try to use my ancestors for political pawn. They use my ancestors to gain political points. Knowing that everything that my ancestors has fought for is administration. Andrew Holness administration sell it out. Knowing that everything that our ancestors has fought for, the piece of rock there, the blood and the sweat and the tears for Jamrock. This administration, what Babsy Grange is a part of, led by Andrew Holness, sell out everything that our ancestors has fight for. At this bun me, fi see this a woman here, they can try use my ancestors for political pawns and prop, for gain political points. But anyway, my people, before I get into the story and dissect it the way how I want to dissect it, so my audience can observe it and preserve it and rewind and see what them people are really up to, brother. So we go and play the tape. And after that, we will do our due diligence.
When I saw Mark Golding pull the man by the large chain around his neck, my heart sank as I remembered the ancestors who were similarly treated as they endured hundreds of years of unspeakable oppression and brutality perpetrated by white colonial enslavers in a long war.
I keep on telling them, the Babylon release the train.
That today we live
They might use them brain.
African ancestors could only dream of. How could the whole of such a high constitutional office as leader of the opposition so disrespect our ancestors who gave their lives so that we could be here today? The slavery scene in which the opposition leader positioned himself as the main character and chief arbiter on the issue of whether a black man is freed is deeply offensive and is an affront to the entire nation. Mark Golding's reprehensible conduct has angered Jamaicans from all walks of life.
Okay, fam. Well, clearly you can't hear that is her voice on that tape. So when we start dissecting into this now, piece by piece, because as we say, the smallest man from the grassroots, he's supposed to get the message, and if him not get the message, it seems like I'm not doing my due diligence and what I supposed to do, because they are the problem. They are the decision makers. So anyway, let's dive into the story. As I quote, when I saw Mark Golding pull the man by the large chain around his neck, my heart sank. When I saw Mark Golding pull the man, the large chain around his neck, the Babsy Grange heart sink. What I want to ask Babsy Grange is that Prince William and Kate visited Jamaica, and our kids greet them through a wire fence. You hear what I just said? Prince William and Kate visit Jamaica, and our kids greet them through a wire fence. like a cage. No, I'm asking, as I display the picture on my screen, I want you to take a deep look at that picture. And I want every parent in Jamaica, I want every parents and grandparents in the diaspora to take a look at this picture deeply. And I want you to tell me in the comment section how you feel about that. In the 21st century, you know, the thing that my ancestors has fought for, you know, to the liberation, you know, of our people, you know, is to see, you know, that the culture minister, you know, they orchestrate this, you know, where our kids stand behind a fence like they're in some detention camp in barricade to greet William and Kate. So my question to you, Babsy, your heart never sank for that. Your heart never sank for that. Anyway, it goes on. As I remember the ancestors who similar treated as they endure hundreds of years of unspeakable oppression and brutalities perpetrated, I want you to listen this keenly, you know, perpetrated by white colonial enslavers. Perpetrated by white colonial enslavers. She said that, you know. So when we ask Babsy Green some question, you know, and we're going to ask you about our backside, that you and the Prime Minister is selling out. When you go to court, forget court orders, so you can mine in the cockpit country, mine around the cockpit country area, and mine in rural Jamaica, taking away our precious soil. And remember, we are not getting nothing from backside. I just want to remind you, it's the grandsons and great grandsons unspeakable oppression and brutality perpetrated by white colonial enslavers. I don't know if you understand what I just said, Babsy Grange. Our backside is now being mined by the who? The same people who do what? The unspeakable oppression and brutalities that was perpetrated by the white colonial enslavers. Those are the same people and Andrew Holness say sell out, but we're backside to know, right? I'm just asking some question, Babsy Grange. I'm just asking it. Because you say, when I remember the ancestors, you understand, who were similar treated in this way. So I'm just saying to you now, our precious backside that we the taxpayers of Jamaica is not getting anything for. Did you know that? It's the same grandkids, great-grandkids, and great-great-grandkids of these same white colonial enslavers who are selling back our backside. I'm just wondering if your heart is sunken for these things. Let us continue, Jamaica. We must not take this lightly, as she speaks, that today we live the life that our African ancestor could only dream of. Remember, we must not take this lightly, that today we live the life that our African ancestors could only dream of. So my African ancestors who blood, sweat and tears go into Jamaica, fight for people like you and me, so you can have a voice because of them. And now you and Andrew Wallace and the administration is selling out Jamaican to the Chinese. I don't take it lightly, Babsy Grange. When you, Andrew Wallace and his administration is selling out Jamaican to the Chinese, I don't take it lightly, Babsy Grange. We must not take it lightly that today we live a life that our African ancestor could only dream of. What a disgrace. If you know that our African ancestors, blood, sweat and tears, fight for people like you to have a voice today, and you turn around and the thing that they fight for, you turn around and selling it out to the Chinese. So me not take it lightly, Babsy Grange. The thing that my ancestor fight for, their blood, sweat and tears in that piece of rock, for me and for your grandpitney and great-great-grandpitney and generation after generation. You and the Andrew Wallace administration is now selling out everything to the Chinese. Don't use my ancestors as political pawn and political prop. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. We must not take this lightly. That today we live the life that our African ancestor could only dream of. If you know that they do all of that for you, so that you can have a voice, you know that they do all of that for you, and you turn around and sell them out to the Chinese. There is a disgrace to my ancestors. Don't dare you try to use my ancestors as political pawn. When I hear you like Footer, I them talk about the ancestor, you give them honors because then you they honor the ancestors, but not like who no madman can use our ancestors for political pawn, man. You crazy man. Let's continue, Jamaica. All right. So she says, as it goes on, how could a holder of such high constitution office as the leader of the opposition so disrespect to our ancestors who gave their life so we could be here today? How could the holder of such high constitution office as the leader of the opposition so disrespect to our ancestors who gave their life so we could be here today? And Babsy, how could such a holder of such high constitution office, how could such a holder of such high constitution office as the Prime Minister of Jamaica stand on a stage and tell the people of Jamaica that there is only one sovereign state, and it's Jamaica? Because of his ignorance and his incompetency, and he want to use brute force to go into the cockpit country and mine the cockpit country, he stand on a stage and tell the Jamaican people that there is one sovereignty, and it's the Jamaican people. Knowing that the ancestors fight for that sovereignty for the Maroon. And let me explain to you people who don't know what is going on. So that the cockpit country belongs to the Maroons and not the government of Jamaica. What is a treaty, Jamaica? A treaty is a formal, legally binding written agreement between two parties. Formal, legally binding written agreement between two parties. So me have one piece of old car, I want to sell it, and you want to buy it from me. Me tell you say at 200,000 feet. They say alright, you come with the 200,000. You give me the money, me give you the car, me give you your receipt, you're gone, done. So this is what take place in Jamaica. And we have to go back in our history. You know. In 1739, the treaty signed under the British governor, Edward Trelawney, granted Kojo Maroon 1,500 acres of land between their stronghold of Trelawney Town and a compound in the cockpit country. It's also stated that certain amount of political autonomy and economic freedom in return for which the Maroon were supposed to provide military support to the British. Political autonomy, when you go look it up, it simply means political freedom. What it means? When a group or a person or territories are self-governed, not under the control of a high level of government. They are self-controlled. When a group of person or a territories are self-governed, not under the control of a higher level of government. They have also self-governed greater than the rest of the country. They are self-governed, you know, the Maroon, you know, they are self-governed greater than the rest of the country. So when your prime minister goes stand up and tell, say, I want sovereignty, crazy. You understand? Could never be. In 1739, the treaty signed under British governor Edward Trelawney granted Kojo Maroon 1,500 acres of land between their stronghold of Trelawney Town and a compound in the cockpit country. And a certain amount of political autonomy and economic freedom in return for which these Maroons were to provide military support to the British. So the cockpit country of the Maroons, whose were ancestor blood, sweat and tears in the cockpit country. So when time babsy and Andrew and the whole of them, they try to use brute force and dictatorship to mine out Jamaica and send it away to the same white colonial enslavers. That should be a shame. She go on and she said, the slave scene in which the opposition leader as the main character and chief orbit, and the issue where a black man be free, it is deeply offensive and its affront simply mean it's an insult to the entire nation. What is an insult to the entire nation is the beaches that is sold now in Jamaica to these same white colonial enslavers who you just talk about. Where we now as Jamaican have to have special days to go to our beaches from the same colonial enslavers what you just talk about. Blue Lagoon, you guys just close it down the other day and the people and sell it out to the same white colonial enslavers. Our people don't have access to about 90% of our beaches anymore. If they want to, they have to pay, and some of them, they cannot enter, no at all. That's what the entire nation is supposed to be ashamed about. The sweat, blood, and tears of my ancestors who fought night and day for that piece of rock, so that me and you, our grandkids and great-grandkids can enjoy it, is to see in 7 years this Andrew Holness-led administration sell out back Jamaica to the Chinese. Babsy, your heart no sing for that. My ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears into that piece of rock. Your heart no sing for that. Knowing that your administration reverse the signs of time and selling out back with rock to the Chinese. That no sink your heart, Babsy. Just an ask, you know, because you know, run out with something, you know. You understand how we just ask. My ancestor fight for the piece of rock. You understand what is a treaty, Jamaica? What is a treaty? It's a formal, legally binding, written agreement between two parties who come to agreement and sell something. You get me money, you get your car, you get your property, or you get your goods. In 1739, the treaty signed under British Governor Edward Trelawney granted Kodjo Maroon 1,500 acres of land. It said between the Maroon stronghold of Trelawney Town and a compound town in the cockpit country. It's also stated that a certain amount of political autonomy, you understand what I say, political freedom, up there so freedom, the government can't touch them. The government don't have no right up there. You understand what I say? Political freedom in return for which the Maroon were to provide military support to the English. So when your prime minister can stand up and tell you it's only one sovereign state, our donor man, and that is a disgrace and a shame to the entire nation. What you talk about, lady? Those are the things that should be a shame to the entire nation. Our beaches are gone. Our prime location been sold to these same white colonial enslavers that you just mentioned. Our rivers and our falls been sold to the same white colonial enslavers. Our prime land and beachfront is now being sold to the same white colonial enslavers. Our bauxite is now in the hands of the same white colonial enslavers. Our airport is in the hands of those same colonial enslavers. Our wharf is in the hands of those same colonial enslavers. So those are the things that should be a disgrace to every citizen of Jamaica. You understand? And for you have the audacity For they can try to use our ancestors as political prop. Woman, we not have that around here. Come seek political mileage off our ancestor. What do you know? What do you know, man? Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself, man. Can't work around here, brother. We're not going to pass around here, you know. Beat you till you weak around here. You understand? Because you just a shoot from your hips, you know. You not even focus on what you are saying. You understand? Now focus on what you are saying. We must not take this lightly. Today we live the life that our African ancestor could only dream of. If you know that your African ancestor has given you that opportunity so you can live in peace and harmony, you have a voice, you have a platform. They did that, they laid that foundation for you, and for you to turn around now and come sell out back Jamaica to the Chinese, you know, are a disgrace to our ancestors and trying to use our ancestors to gain political mileage. How low is this administration and this party? Think about it, my people. Anyway, we tell them, say, a God and good road, you know. You understand? Life over death. The more them fight aromatic, the more stronger the platform get. You understand? Say, no man is an island, and therefore no man can stand alone. I will continue to tell them to each one teach one. That's what I mean. I learned from even the birds who is flying out there. I learned from the ants sometimes who crawl around my foot because I open up my cranium. And as a man, you must always learning as you go along. Always learning something as you go along. You understand? Be your brothers and your sisters' keepers. Be your brothers and your sisters' keepers. Show respect to even the suckling. You understand? Because respect goes where respect comes from. And if you want me to give you the respect that you truly deserve, then you have to show me that you have within you that same discipline. You understand? That same self-respect to show a next man that form of gratitude. Be well, my people. Be well. Be well. Until then, we chat again. Aromatic to the world. Send it to the globe. Out. Peace.